Alright, so days has come, bright and early. Got about an hour and 15-minute drive, heading down to Lakeland to pick up a nitrous kit. Alright, so the last clip I had was after I got to the place to meet the guy to buy the kit, and then I drove home, found it on Marketplace. That night I kind of jumped the gun and started just mess with things and started installing things. So now we're here. I got the solenoids installed and I got the main line ran. And unfortunately, until I buy a new mainline feed, I'm going to be mounting the bottle here. It's not going to be in the car most of the time anyways, but that's where it's going to go for now. I had it right here also, and that looked pretty good, but I had to buy a longer line to put it there. In the process of removing the tints to get that redone. I gotta figure out what we're gonna do with the purge. I kind of don't mind just bringing it out right above the hood and letting it shoot out there. We'll have to see what we can figure out. Also, I got new microphones, so hopefully the audio is better from now on. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that this sounds good enough to where I can now work in the garage without having to turn off the AC and fan. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna go actually head out to get this bottle filled. So, funny story, I went to go buy this kit down in Lakeland. I worked overnight that night, and I met up with the guy around 8 a.m., so it was like an hour and a half drive. I left my house like 6 a.m., right after work pretty much. Get down there, talk to him. I get home around 10 a.m., and I couldn't resist, obviously. I had to put the bottle in the car and take a picture and check it out. On the way down there, I actually didn't know the bottle had any nitrous. I bought it expecting it to be empty, but when I got there, he informed me that it's a full bottle. So jumped to getting home, putting it in the car, looking at it, it's cool, whatever. I left it in the car. Car was in the driveway. Forgot about it. Went to sleep. Woke up. Went out here to I wanted to check how long the mainline feed was. Realized the bottle pressure was 0. So the bottle, I did a rookie mistake, and the bottle released all the pressure because it got too hot in the car. So at least it wasn't with nitrous that I paid for. I did technically, but I wasn't expecting it to be full. Won't do that again. Just gotta be careful. But yeah, I'll get back to you when we start with the wiring and what I got with that. Alright, so we kind of got a clusterfuck here, but I figured I'd show you some of it. This is the wiring diagram we're going off of. This solenoid is just for the purge. Got the button installed there. That's gonna be the purge button. And I think I'm gonna put like the actual nitrous button right here, spray button, and then the arming button. I haven't quite decided where I'm gonna put that yet, but I'm gonna go over this wiring real quick so it's a little easy. Well, it's not gonna be easy to understand this, but this white wire is the 86's length. This is going to go to a momentary switch. That's going to go over to here. Then the arming switch is wherever that is. That's the other wire is going to run from that to the momentary switch. That is going to go over here. This one is going to go to pin 87. This one's going to go to the nitrous solenoid. And this green one is going to go to the purge solenoid. This red has to go to this switch. I believe I have to put 12 volts to one side of the switch, which the wire is right here. It's extra long right now, but basically I gotta put 12 volts accessory power to one side, and then this other side goes to this red one. But basically, I got this. I gotta shorten up wires, clean it up, and I want to get these relays in the back over there. That'd be ideal. So I'll update you when it's all done, but I just wanted to make this quick video to have this all in my brain and then show you what the shit show looks like. Alright, so we got the purge solenoid all wired up, I think. Let's test it real quick. Turn that off. Hazards off. Alright, so we hit this button. It should click. Oh yeah, because the feed power from the battery, I ran 3 wires from the battery, 2 fused, 1 for this relay, 1 for this relay, and a ground, a fresh ground right from the battery. Didn't hook that ground up yet, so once that ground is hooked up, it'll work. I'll finish this up and let's go. I got these are the 2 wires coming from the solenoids themselves from the engine bay. Those are hooked up to the relays. I got 1 relay left that goes to pin 87 on this one. The switch wire. I think that's about it. So I haven't decided where I want to mount this red, the nitrous button. Either right here, so it's, I don't know. I want to mount it here, but I also don't feel like drilling a hole into this. I want it over on my left side so I can hold the steering wheel, be ready to shift, and I can just hold the button down here. Ideally, I'd get one on the steering wheel, but yeah, this is a tough decision. But I have the 2 wires for that switch. I got a ground for the arming switch here. This is for the middle. This is coming from that red push button going to here. Now I just need to get a 12 volt source back here. Mount this switch. I'm probably just gonna put it in here. And then everything's wired up. Relays are pushed back there. It's not the cleanest, but whatever. Basically, you just gotta get a 12 volt source in here and then figure out where I'm gonna mount that switch, and it's done. And then I gotta put this whole car back together. I took the door panels out to clean the window bottom easier because there was some tint stuff there, so I need to put those on. I got a car show Saturday, and now it's Friday morning at 6 a.m. Got some work to do today. Okay. Alright, so there's some clips that I've been forgetting to use the mic, so I'll go get that in a minute. But we got the wiring all finished up back here. Let me get a light. Alright, so there you see the wire. It's 3 wires, 2 power feeds and 1 ground. That runs into the seat, up to the center console. So now basically we've got a lot of cleaning to do. All the wiring's done except the red button switch. I gotta figure that out. But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go in here, and down in the corner, that's where we're gonna put the blow off dump tube. I'll show you what I got. I know it's messy, but I figure I'll just vacuum once we're done drilling. I got this bulkhead fitting, so we'll drill that out. Right here in this corner, it's a pretty flat corner, and I could feel underneath the car, it's right there. So that's, we'll have, it's an 8 AN line that'll run up to an AN fitting. That'll be a 180, and I'll show you that when I get the bottle installed. But here's the feed line for the bottle feed. But let's get this in real quick. Got the bulkhead fitting. I got this washer for it, so it'll look a little bit nicer. That fits right down there. We're going to put some orange thread locker on the other side so it doesn't vibrate off, and then we're going to tighten it up. Still got to wait for the other fitting, but I can put the one end, the straight fitting on this for now. Get back to you when I'm ready to put the bottle in. Let's see if it fits. I have not test fit it since I mounted these brackets because I didn't have my bottle at the time. I only had a welding bottle that was a little smaller. We'll see how this fits. Say that fits pretty good. Probably leave it like that. And then the 90 or the 180 is going to go down to the floor over here. And that should be no problem. Alright, so I got to put the display back in, eventually wire this up, but I'm not worried about that for the car show, car meet. Bottle's tightened up. Let's test this purge job real quick. So, key on. Oh, forgot. We gotta crack the bottle open. Let's test the purge button. Sweet. Alright, so I still gotta fix where I'm gonna exit this or whatnot, but that's that for now. It's gonna be hidden a little bit more. So I got the 180 fitting in. This is the full flow 180 fitting. They have another one that's this 180 is actually skinnier, but this was like $1 or $2 more, so I just got this one. That'll go here, and then I'll run the AN line down. It's dark, but there's the other fitting down here. That is the bulkhead fitting. The straight fitting will go on top of that, so let's go make the AN line. Alright, so our line, and we got our two fittings. Here's a little nitrous jet too. Still waiting on the feed line. This is the nozzle. Still waiting on the feed line and the jets for this nozzle. So we're going to start with the other factory end. I'm going to get this fitting on first. And I have a flathead that I took all the sharp edges off of. Basically, you want to fray this open enough. And you want it to be right up under the metal lip in here. You want the plastic liner to come up all the way. We'll go put this on and see how much line we need. Probably should have just got like a 90-degree angle instead of a straight fitting. That would probably look nicer, but alright, so we'll cut it right here. You don't want to melt the plastic too much, and also blow out your lines, especially if it's not just a vent tube. This is a vent tube, so it's literally just venting right to the underneath of the car, so I don't really care. Fuel lines, anything else, yeah, you gotta blow it out. Rookie mistake, I did it. You gotta put this on first. Okay, let's go put it in. So last time I went to the track, they like the tech inspection really wasn't even a tech inspection. Kind of like you walk up to the tech booth and then you fill out like a waiver form. But since my car looks pretty stock, ish. They didn't even look anything. I just didn't want it to be a problem to where, well, you should have this anyways in case the pressure does over. It'll fill up the whole cabin full of nitrous. Basically, my buddy said if your car looks slow, they don't really care. This should get me, hopefully, into the 10s. That's what I'm hoping for. But that's it. Let's move on to the next project. We got the rest of the parts in. This is the feed line from the solenoid. The adapter. The nozzle. Got the nozzle in and the nozzle bung. This is a 3AN to 3AN female to 4AN male. I got this just in case this was 3AN because I wasn't at the time positive. And I got a 4AN to 4AN line. I'm probably gonna go get a 4AN to 3AN line, so I don't have to use this adapter. But that's where we'll put the jet once we find the correct one, and then hook this all up. Oh, I got one more, and I got this 90-degree fitting that comes off the bottom of the solenoid. So put this back together. I updated that. That's cool. Looks a little better. Yeah, let's get this little piece installed. So as you can see, it's a little close to IAT. Eventually I'm going to redo my whole intercooler piping and have more room and have these separated apart. But this side goes towards the intake, and you can see the nozzle right there. It's pointed away from the IAT, and there's a little bit of separation, so it shouldn't get sprayed at all. So according to the chart, we want a 035 for a 50 shot. Went ahead and installed it all like that. I guess it's still kind of hiding behind here, but we'll make it work. So in like an ideal world, I'll have that blue adapter there. With the new line, I'll get a 90-degree fitting, another one, no adapter. The nitrous kit, 100% installed, ready to go. Next is gotta deal with the tuning side. See what we can figure out, see if we blow this motor up or what. Alright, so let's go ahead and warm her up, pull her out the garage. I'll let this warm up for a bit, go get the laptop, and I'll be back. Alright, so we're going to connect, start a log. I'm going to show you what it does before nitrous. We've got a neutral, shift to second, go to drive, hold. Okay, so that went to about 2,500, 2 pounds of boost. And ECMLink, the way we have our switch set up, go to aux maps, Actually go here first. Simulate idle switch from TPS. Perfect. Enable idle switch operation. That's all correct. Now let's go to aux maps. Enable secondary maps. Min-oct maps. Use when idle switch input is active. Which essentially this button over here makes the idle input switch active. We have the arming switch in here. You probably can't see it, but it's behind the cup holder. Alright, so after the testing and stuff last night, we are going to be ditching the whole button activation, and we're going to be going to have the ECU control the nitrous. So we're going to pull out the relays and redo all that. Completely different, but one thing I did do last night was I drilled and pinned for the e-brake. So that way when I'm staging I can, it'd be easier. Alright, so we had some weird things going on. When I was trying to test out you press the throttle to see if it's working, it wasn't working, and then I saw smoke coming from the relay. I don't know, I took it all apart, put it back how it was. Let's see if this will work. I don't understand what's going on. Does my car even start still? Car still starts, but why I cannot get this to work? Alright, well, that's what I have it set up to, and it should function, but we'll see. Well, today we basically just wasted a lot of time. Blew an at least one ECU driver for the fuel pressure. I couldn't get the EGR one to work either. I don't know. I think I messed something up with the ECU in that part, so I just basically put it back on the button. I'm gonna get a steering wheel button eventually, get rid of that stupid button on the side. I was really looking forward to having the ECU control this, but it is what it is. So you can do secondary fuel adjustments on top of primary, and then you can have the idle switch control that, or you can do secondary maps and have the idle switch control this. That's what I'm going to do, and that will control, let's bring it up, that controls this. Now this isn't fine-tuned yet, but it will be. So this is the min-octane timing, min-octane fueling. That's the targets. That's what this does. And then basically this, and say you have E85, like so I have E85 and I have a 93 tune, and then it can interpolate if you put 93 in, it can figure it out. But if you do what I'm doing and you change the secondary map, then you can no longer do this. I can't be mixing E85 and 93, which I haven't done anyways, but basically this uses the max octane above 65% ETH, which I always have like 77. As long as it's all above 65, it'll use the max. It'll use this table here and this table here. it's between 55 and 65, it interpolates. And when it's below 55, it uses the minimum. But not anymore, because I've changed that for the nitrous. So we'll just select that. And I guess the next clip is going to be me doing a test at the street. Yesterday was the day that I wasted all that time trying to switch this over to where the ECU controlled it. We'll even start. There we go. There was a little bit of a wire, like, those wires ran past the OBD2 port, and I don't think it was allowing it to plug in all the way. Definitely had me worried for a second. I'm gonna go in here and make sure the aux map is set. Now, I thought about doing the secondary fuel adjustments over the secondary maps, but tuner recommends, he said this is fine. I'm gonna see if we can set our launch limit to, yep, 4,000. And then let's check direct access. So now for our launch window, let's take out one more degree. All right, so, and then do that, I guess, because it'd be like 2,500. Yeah, and then it should target 11s. So we'll save all to ECU. And we'll just see how it goes. Remember, this is just around the area of when I anticipate on spraying. Alright, so I was just testing the idle switch to see if it would be active, and it wasn't corresponding to the button I was pushing. So now I gotta check and see what's going on. Alright, so it's working. You see the idle switch pin down there. Goes the one when it's grounded. So there's a possibility that the first time I did the nitrous hit, I had it hooked up wrong. When you splice it into pin 87, you gotta just use, basically, butt connect it right into that wire. You gotta cut the other end. I had this basically teed in. So I don't think it even switched to the secondary map. I'm not sure, I don't remember. I've done a lot since then, so there's a possibility that it did not switch to the secondary map. We'll see. I'm going to do a test hit in the driveway again and see what happens. So you want to create as much vacuum as you can and stab on the brakes. That's so much better. Holy shit. That worked. Let's fucking go. That was so much better. guys, so that's pretty much gonna conclude this video of the nitrous install. It's working beautifully. I love it. Hits hard. Still gonna get the launches and probably dial in some of the tune more, but so far so good. Let's check it out one more time. So I was actually able to hold back and not push through the brakes, which was a great surprise that I learned today. Currently on the button. Haven't put the stuff back in since I fixed the idle switch. But man, yeah. I just love how it turned out. Came together pretty nicely. And I really wanted the bottle back here, but honestly, it's been so convenient to be able to turn it on and off from the driver's seat, so not too mad about the position. If I had it back here, I would definitely want a bottle opener electronically. Should be going to the track soon, see what she can do for the 60 foot. Super excited. I appreciate you guys checking out the video, watching it. This one's probably a little bit long, a little bit boring, some parts, but I appreciate you guys checking it out nonetheless. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.